18 plus 14 plus 2 equals 34. Is that right?
Yeah.
So 34. And I reckon I'll have you home by midnight tonight. By the time we get through this. 1601. Oh, 1201, aren't they? 1201. And how long are these bars? They go into the wall. 5 metres minus. You were so close to half a mark there. You forgot about the cover of each end, didn't you?
4.
So 4.9 metres, right? And the weight of these, because it's a 12, what's the weight of the 12? Oh, we just made a big poo-poo. That is 0.884 there. If you picked me up on that, that would have been worth half a mark. So we need to recalculate that. 1.5
78.
78, yeah.
That's the weight.
So we need a couple of totals there. And this one here is going to be each face, each way, top and bottom. It's all over the whole thing. Each face, each way, top and bottom. Okay, and do we have some totals here? Oh, it's a straight bar, 4.900. 4.95? No, because it's a retaining wall going a certain length, and you take off 50 at each end. Yeah. Where you wouldn't would be if you were joining another retaining wall onto it, and there's only construction joint. In fact, sometimes you poke the bar through so you can tie onto it with the next one. Yeah, this is a bit of a weird design. It's just one off 5 metre wall. 5 metres is quite a wee way. It's probably from about here to the door, so it's a fairly decent size retaining wall. Okay, so these bars here that bend around, the bent bars at each end. So it's the same for both, and what they do is, if I was to show you an end like that, one bar is going to come around and go down like that, and the other bar is going to come around and go like that. Alright? Now, reinforcing is a bit like when you used to stay with Grandma and she was doing the patch quilting, and am I the only one that ever stayed with my grandmother? Probably. And she had the sewing machine, and she's going all around the outside, and she's made the patch quilt for your bed. Am I the only one that had the patch quilt with the teddy bears on it? Okay. And yeah, I don't know the way this is going, but anyway, you said to Grandma, because you wanted to be an engineer, you said, why are you doing all the stitching on the outside? Why not just through the middle? And she says, if you're a proper engineer, you'd know you put everything to the outside, as close as you can to the outside, to make it stronger. And that's what we do with reinforcing. Alright? So if you take that rule, that means this is hard up against that distance there is the cover, that's the cover, and that's the cover. Now, that's one of the most important things for the assignment, because the assignment has a bar that comes around and down and like that, and it's got another one that comes around and down and over that way. So obviously they go in behind each other, and they're hard up against the. A lot of students go, "Oh, where do you put it?" I don't, like, what's the length of that? Well, then you can calculate that length quite easily because of the fact that it's right up against the cover. The first thing you should draw in your drawing is the outline, and then draw the cover line, so you can push the bars right against it. Right? And so when I'm looking at your plan drawings, which is your assignment, if you ain't got them against the cover, then you're not drawing it correctly, even if it's that much away. Right? So if it's a 16mm bar, you draw it on the cover, make it 16mm thick, and move it 8mm inside. Like you did with Ingrid. Similar. Yeah. So to calculate this bar and that bar isn't really that hard, because even though my sketch looks a bit wonky and wiggly, we know that they're both in behind each other, and they're both going to be 2 metres minus 50 minus 50. So if we were to draw that bar, it would be the height would be easy and the length would be easy. The length would be 2 metres minus 50 minus 50, so 1900, and the height would be 400 minus 50 minus 50, 300. You agree with that? So, in terms of how many there are, we've actually already done that calculation. We did it for the one above it. Because if you look at this one, that one, and these ones all wrap around each other. So they're all on the same base each time they repeat. So the same, whatever we calculated that number to be, which is right here, 18 bars, is how many of these there are. 18 of those, and there's 18 of those. So we've already done the calculation. So if you get something like that in your final test, and you do that calculation once, you've done it for 3 sets. So there's, I'll write it again here so that it's obvious. 5,000 minus 50 equals 4,900 divided by 300 equals 16.333 equals 17 gaps equal 18 bars. There's one that way and there's one upside down, so that's times 2 equals 36 bars. So 36 bars. Can anyone tell me what the length of that bar is? Well, let's give it a number. The number is 1603, and it's on top and bottom. There's 36 of them. Can anyone tell me the length for half a mark? We actually mentioned it in the lecture this morning. 19. No, it's the overall length of the bar all the way around. No, time's up. No one want to have a quick guess? Heard someone say something, could be right. It's worth it sometimes. 1 point what? 1.6. Just random? No? Anyone else?
1.75.
No. So that's 1900 plus 300 plus 300 minus the beam radius, which we mentioned in the lecture. Up the very top there, I think it says 40, doesn't it?
Yeah.
40 radius. 40.
There's two beam radiuses. One of them's
16.
it's the 90 degree beam radius, 36 actually. Yeah, 36. So minus 36, you've got two of them, you've got one there and one there. So minus 36, so I need my calculator again. See, if I play darts, I just go, and I'll hit that number just like that. Have you seen those guys playing darts at the top level? They say, duck, duck.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, duck. You know.
2428.
2428. 2428. That actually sounds correct. Thank you. 2428. 2428 goes in the overall barley. Actually, you don't need the I used to do. And you have to draw a little picture of it. But when you draw the picture, you don't put the bend allowance. You just do 300, 1900, and 300. So just let me explain why you do that. The big steely guy, he gets the bar schedule like this in the picture. So in the picture, he measures off he measures off that total length there, and then he marks it in such a way that when he uses his bending thing, the bend goes in and the overall length ends up with the length of the steel that he's got in his hand. So that's really important because that's what he chops it at. So working on the Clyde Dam, if I got that wrong, too late, snip, right? And there won't be one snip either, it's 36 snips. And of course, it's too late then to get that correct. I also, I'm a bit of a sucker for punishment. First of all, I go and work for the Germans, and then I worked in England for a company owned by a Saudi Arabian company, and we were doing reinforcing for them. And we got some of it wrong, and the punishment was that our top engineers had to fly over there on Christmas Day. And they tried to explain that, I'm sorry, but Christmas Day is, in England, it's a day with their family and everything else, and they said it's not like that over here in Saudi Arabia. Come over here, we need to see you. So we were talking about $1 million contracts in those days, so yeah. And there was a Egyptian engineer who turned out to be a fake, was checking all our calculations and pretending that we were wrong. So he was trying to win the business of the Saudis. So in the end, we carried on as we were. True story, and it was on. We did the bridges, so they were calculations for the bridge abutments and the bridge piers, the bits in the middle of the bridge. Moving along, mass per metre is 1.578, and we can work out totals in a minute. Last one. So you're going to use this as a way of helping you calculate your own slab. Your own slab is a little bit like this, with the little, with a footing down the side, but none of the top bit. Anyway, the last one here, there's only one of them this time, so you don't multiply it by 2. Well, what we have to work out in order to get this right is what the lap is on that bar and that bar. Now, first of all, are they both 16mm bars? Yes. Yes. So up the top there, it says minimum lap. On the 16mm bar is 520. So the lap is 520, we'll do it here. So the lap is 520. So, oh, nice one. Right, well you're looking at your monitors, I take it I'm the only one who's gone out. Oh no, it's alright, it's just a case of wiggling my mouse. I love the technology here. The good news is we're nearly finished. Okay, so 520 there, 100 there, 400 there, and then 200 down to there. So we need to add calculator again. Just try the two at the front there that have given me $100 to pass the course. So we need 520. We need 100, so plus 100, plus 400, plus 200.
1, 2,
And that's, so on one side here, what you're saying is, it's shaped like that, that's 1, 2,
1, 2, 2,
1, 2, 2, 3,
0.
0, 1, 2, 2, 0, and how wide is it? Assuming that it's just in behind the other one, up there, it'll be 50 mil in from each side, so it must be 300 wide. Yeah. So the maths behind that one will be 1220 plus 1220 minus 300 minus the bend allowance of 36 minus 36. So that is the maths behind that one. And we know that it's going to be 18 of them because we've done that sum just around the corner there. It's 1604. It's a bit weird. This one is each face, top and bottom. The bar length is going to be 1220 plus 1220 minus 300 minus 36 minus, plus 300 minus 36 minus 36. Whew. Twelve. 2.668. Max per metre 1.578. Now I'll give your calculator a break. Plus we get the unveiling coming up. This is where you can all have a jolly good laugh at me for getting it completely wrong. Or completely right. You don't have to laugh if I get it right. Right. So, is there an end to this? There it is there. Total weight 147.27. 147.27. I've made that available on Moodle. 139.18.
This is what
There's a what?
That top one on the screen is 1201.
Oh, yeah, they've run the wrong way, though. Yeah, I've got them round the wrong way because we did 1202 first. Yeah, that was a bit clever. 147.27. Uh, 139.18. 137 point, is that 83? 137.83. That's a 9. And lastly, 78.62. Making a grand old 503.00 as a total. A lot of students do all that hard work and forget the total, which is the whole reason for doing the bar schedule usually is the price. Because if the price is right, then they'll go ahead and do it. Now the good thing about what I've just made available to you on Moodle is everything that I said then and scribbled on the board has been made a little bit clearer on Moodle on this. So we started with 1202, but this one starts with 1201. It shows the construction choice, and it shows you how I got each one. We've got 8 gaps, 9 bars, etc. There's the 0.2 rule. And there's where the bar starts. 1 times the diameter, 2 times the diameter. The straight bar. The bar 1603. The bend allowance 36. And calculating the number of bars. And the last one, actually the last one was 127 apparently. Or was that my typo?
The first one, the other one is 626.
The last one you had put in should be plus 250.
It should be 1270.
Yeah.
Right. And what else? And 300 and 1270. 1270. And that is that 2.688?
217.
2.768. We'll put that down too for tiredness and the calculating deed. And another $100 needed. 2768. There we are. Now, more good news, especially for the students that are still. I call this my stun mullet class. I don't know if you know much about mullet. It's very hard to catch them with a hook. Usually you catch them 2 ways. With dynamite is probably the best way. And they all come up with big eyes and open mouth. Not that I'm saying you've all got big eyes, but that's kind of what the look is on your face at the moment. But it does take a little while to get your head around doing reinforcing, because we're going from a 2D view to a 3D view, and not a lot of people can get that concept straight away. You will get it, it does come to you, might be in the middle of the night, it might be in the middle of class, it might even be an invisible friend code, but at the end of the day, it will come to you. What I've got here is I've also got a class example here. Concrete exercise 2. So this is written by my predecessor here at Unitec. Actually, he overlapped with me by about 10 years, but when we took the course together, old Fred was one for hand sketching. This is a water channel. It's something that maybe a farmer might design to take water from one ponded area to another on their farm. And this particular exercise has got everything that you could possibly come across in reinforcing. It's got a restriction on your bar length. It's got cover on different faces are different, which is something to watch out for. It's got that curved bar thing. But most of all, if you have a look at that bar, 16 millimetres at 300 centres, it's a pretty bad sketch because it doesn't show that it goes in behind that other bar, but it actually does. But the problem is this round bar, this bar here that goes right way around, is at 250 millimetre centres. So you've got 300 and you've got 250. You can't have that because both bars, the long bar is in the middle of space. It'll be hanging up there, not bound to anything. So it must be the same centres. One of them must be the same centres. Sorry, they both must be the same centres. So the way how you determine the centres is it goes immediately to the 250 because that's going to give you more bars. Okay? So in New Zealand, when we're doing reinforcing, we're a lot more generous with the reinforcing. A lot of countries around the world that have earthquakes can't believe how much we actually do put into our design. So you'll find with Lucia or Wade that they're very strict with their design, and they tend to over-design things, which is what New Zealand, both of them are proper engineers, registered engineers. I know Lucia is certified, and so she would over-design because she wants hand on heart the building not to fall over. We all do. And so when you come across a situation like this, you immediately jump to the one that gives you the most bars. Now, before I was looking for the lack for that bar on example 1 that went up in the air and overlapped with the other one. Now, if one was 12 millimetres and one was 16 millimetres, which lap would I take? Who said that? Somebody. Did you say that? Did you? This is embarrassing. This feels like you paid me for that. She's dead right. It's a half for Mark there, and probably deserves it because she did all the counts for you guys. But you take the 12 millimetre lap. No, you don't. You take the 16 millimetre lap. Clean it. I'm sorry about that. You take the 16 millimetre one because it's longer. you always take the bigger lap and you always put more bars in if there's an opportunity. So if you have different bar sizes, lapping, which you might have on your assignment, just keep an eye out for that. It's always the bigger lap and the bigger bar. Yeah, you don't have to email me that, by the way. Now, who got the first half mark? Somebody did. Oh, you. You got to midnight. Somebody lost it last semester. I mean, last half of the semester. Yeah. He or she, he emailed me about 4 days later. That's like being on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? And saying you can ring a friend. I already said, of course. Okay, so this one here has got a lovely set of handwritten answers to how to do quantities, to how to work out the bars. So it does go into the same detail that I went into. See that? 2 times the diameter equals 24, plus 12 mil up the top diameter and the 40 mil cover. So it does explain things a little bit better than maybe I did, and it's in a written format. So you're welcome to look at that and work through that. And it's put nice and neatly on a proper Ministry of Works, stolen from the Ministry of Works too, and with the Unitech sticker on top of it. Not by me, by him. I used to do that. So there we are, there's a second. Now, looking at the sketch of this, and the last, I'm just about ready to stop talking. Yay. I'm not sure whether, what did I do that for? You know, back in the middle. Also under week 8, is an example drawing I see that I'll show you there. All right, so this is the water thing drawn in AutoCAD. Now you will be doing the top bit. That's the plan view. This is the sideways view. So the one thing that you should do first of all is this line here, that's your cover line. So when you put your cover in, you can then put your bar right up against the cover. Cover lines there as well. And you can also see nothing actually goes outside of that cover. When it comes to the plan, remember I zoomed in on something and it had a circle, and I said this red bar here goes from there to the other end. But here's my favourite word that I never ever get tongue twisted on: delimiter. That is what we call a delimiter, because it shows exactly where the last bar ends. And if you look at the other end, it shows exactly. Now, when I'm marking this, I get all sorts. I get students that that don't rotate the text properly. Should always read it from looking from the right-hand side, so that way. I get students that write the text on top of the delimiter line, even on top of the delimiter bar. And worst of all, I get students who run the line through the text. Now that is actually okay. See that line going through there? That's going between the numbers. That's alright. It can go on this line here too. What is not alright is if that was over here, because when you plot it, it may make it really hard to see what the numbers are underneath. Fair enough? So when you're doing this drawing, you grab this one off Moodle, go in and have a look at it, see it's got the lap on there. Now this particular one is lapped, that bar goes to there, and that bar goes on the other side. Now that student lapped it like that. You can also lap it where one's in front of the other. It just depends which way how the reinforcement goes. You have got a couple of examples in the notes as well. So I'd start drawing my plan up if you're looking for somewhere to start. At the same time, what you can't answer is how many of the bars there are without doing your bar schedule. And your bar schedule is that thing there. That's, you should be working on both at the same time as you're doing it. Right? By the way, don't take the AutoCAD length. It's always 2 or 3 millimeters wrong. So you'll get it wrong. To give you an idea, that's worth 7 marks. It's quite a lot. So I'll start off by giving you a mark for the right number off, half a mark for each one of the right number offs. Then you'll get half a mark for each of the bar lengths. There'll be marks for the sketch and marks for the totals. Oh, sorry, the location. And probably marks for multiplying out as well. So yeah, I've got 14 half marks to give away on the bar schedule. Right? And there's no arguing with that. At the end of the day, the other thing is the right number there or not. The other part of the schedule that was in, I'll just have another quick look at the assignment. Other people are going, I still, I don't quite know what else I'm supposed to do. Okay, so you get your progress, your plan. And by the way, that's only a plan of the slab. You don't have to put any steel on there. It's just the slab. All right. Back to the assessments, because that's where they want us to put them all these days, which I think is a bit weird. But we go back to assignment 3 under the assessment section. You'll the example template, you can start drawing this up. This is worth 7 marks. Sorry, the reinforcing is worth 7 marks. This here is worth 7 marks. Some of that's really easy, so obviously there won't be as many marks allocated to it. You can't do the steel till next week. I'll be doing an example. After that, you'll blitz that. Most of my students are reasonably good at math. Blitz it. Amazingly, quite a few stuff that up. That to me is only first year high school maths doing volume. But anyway, and the timber is another one as well. So work on this table and work on the plan at the same time, and that's 15 marks altogether. Sorry, that's 21 marks out of your 40, just for those things. You won't be able to complete it until we finish the timber section. Oh, what's still needed on this will be some notes as well. And then the second part of the assignment I'm suggesting will be the 3D drawing and drawing up these 2 elevations. throwing up these two elevations. The elevation in this direction and the elevation in the other direction. So plenty to get on with. We've got a month and a half, well, 5 or 6 weeks, shall we say, to do it. The semester will probably end in a fairly similar way to what the last one did. So there'll be an online tutorial so that it's recorded, and there's probably going to be an online test. I noted that quite a few of you came in here and did it here with the past student. That's fine too. You can come and do that, or you can do it from your own or somewhere else. I'm only saying that now because that's what I'm planning to do, but we'll see what comes of it further down the line. For those that have ended up with a fairly good mark, like as in about 70 or 60 something, and they're thinking, oh, I just need to do 30% this time, nice easy half semester. Can I just dangle the Revit and 12D carrot in front of you all here? 60 marks is the cutoff, so that's a C+. Used to be 65. You're getting 2 world-class programs, which does put you ahead in the job market if you've done it, especially with diplomas, because you can't only do it with 60%. We were the first college to do that in 2011, that course. And it's also a credit towards your diploma. So there's a lot of bonuses in that. And if you are up there with the A's and B's, we will be looking at you to help us out as past year. So it would be quite vital if you did that other course as well. Okay, I'm going to shut up now. If you spy that I have missed something on your assignment, remember I'm human too sometimes, like missed the marking on something, or have not given you the same mark as what's on the assignment. Please email me, and when I get a chance, I'll have a look at that for you, okay? I'm not saying it'll change, I'm just saying that if you, I don't want to spend the next 3 months writing back to students on the things that they've done wrong, because there's a lot of feedback on that marking matrix. There's over 1,000 little boxes that I filled in over. I don't really want to be regurgitating all that. But if I legitimately have not given marks on the box, or if I legitimately have copied the wrong number, I'm more than happy to rectify that.